Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a reporting for you finally, and we will report 3 plants that I received by post. They came all packed in paper and without their pots. These are the 3 orchids that I found in Brazil that I decided to buy, but they are only divisions. They arrived well, which is so great, and I'm so happy to have these 3 plants in my collection. So the reason why they are on this big cup of water. It's not that I grow them in water or nothing like that. I was just hydrating the roots a little bit, so it will make easier for me to see which roots are alive and which roots are not alive. They're pretty dehydrated because they have been like that for a while, so they need to be repotted immediately. I don't intend to show you all of them, but maybe we should start with the larger one. If you're ever curious about receiving this sort of orchids that comes with their roots out of the pot, the first thing that you have to do when you receive something like that is to hydrate the roots very, very well, because there are greater chances that outside the medium, the mix, they are not being hydrated. So that's what I did in a couple of days, and now it's time for me to repot. So hopefully it will adapt well to my mix, and also it will adapt well to my environment. Fingers crossed, because these are beautiful plants. So I will organize my table and I show you how I am doing that. 1 second. So guys, I thought I was recording and I just noticed that my camera wasn't recording. I was just removing all the dead Cattleya roots. As I said already in other videos and also here, Cattleyas, when they travel for a long time and the roots dry out and you change potting mix, they have a very sensitive roots, so there are greater chance that the roots will be completely dead on the process. So here, I have already removed all the dead roots these are all the dead roots, by the way, that were mainly coming from the back bulb. That's one of the oldest bulbs. And here I have the newer bulb. So usually with the pseudo bulb, with the newer one, we have more live roots than the older one, which is really important. Since I know that I struggled with Cattleyas in the past, I will try to make sure I leave at least the live roots in here, because it will help my plant to grow. And since I had pests, I didn't know how to grow Cattleyas well in the past. This, with the fact that the roots died in the process, I lost many Cattleyas. Nowadays, I have a little bit more success with them, but still, I wanted to be careful. The problem with this long Cattleya is that I don't know where I'm gonna place it. I don't have a place in my windowsill where I have most of my Cattleyas, so I might have to place it under growing lights and pray for the best. I'll keep you posted if they survive. So here on the back part of my Cattleya, I do have some roots that are still alive, like this one burnt out, so I will keep them. And now let's return to this side. And let's see what I can find here on the newer bulb. It's really difficult because some of them are plumpy, but I do believe they are dead. I don't want to destroy all the good roots. Let's pray for the best here. This one is mushy and also broken. Yeah, it's dead. So as I said, it was a long time on the transport and without any watering, so they definitely suffer a little bit. Difficult to know, but this is also dead, and look, it's coming from the newer part of the plant. Very, very mushy. I'm gonna be, as I said, more conservative in this case because I don't want to lose everything, but I know that this is dead, this is dead. All of these ones that are plumpy, I will keep them here because we don't know, right? And some of them are just like a woody. It's time for them to go. Look, there are greater chances that some of these roots are dead, but I will pot it with them, and when I notice that they are degraded maybe in a month, I will unpot and repot it again. But for now, I'll keep them here and let's see. Something else about this plant, since it's a new plant, and I don't know how it was being grown, I need to spray hydrogen peroxide 3% around the root system just to avoid pests, and I don't want any snails and snail eggs in here. Hope they haven't survived since this plant was dried for a very, very long time. So more than that, let me spray hydrogen peroxide around here. There are some eyes in the newer growth. And why I'm removing all this dried shit? Because they can hide pests, and I don't want any new pest in my collection. So that's the reason why I'm just removing that. I may clean that with my leaf shine afterwards. Let's spray hydrogen peroxide 3% here, and hopefully it will kill any eggs that I have alive on this plant. So I have some builders just behind me, so it's impossible not to have noise. So I start with the hydrogen peroxide. I'm gonna be very deliberate about that. I mean, it's just to kill some pathogens. And hopefully I don't have anything in here. It's very, very clean now, you know? And I can easily see that I have some roots that are alive. The one that green up a little bit. This one as well here. They both are alive. Hopefully they will help to hydrate my plant while I wait for new growths to grow. I have a suspicion that this plant has a scale. That's why I think I need to clean it afterwards, but I'm not sure. Anyway, pests are very normal. It's difficult for nurseries, I think, to keep on top of them all the time. I received plants with pests before. It happens. But without further ado, let me grab my tray and everything for us to report this plant. I hope you can see properly. Here is my orchid now, after all the treatment around the root system. I used always bark and sphagnum moss with most of my orchids. So what I'm gonna do specifically with this big large Cattleya is use a large pot, because otherwise I honestly think it would get too small. This Cattleya was a large, super large one. It was divided, so I left part of it in Brazil before I posted. So I know that it can get very, very tall and produce a massive root system. For this reason, I am going with a 12 centimeters, 12.7 centimeters pot. It's a 5-inch one. And I will add a little bit of moss at the bottom, but not a lot, because as you know, you need to balance your mix according to your environment, and mine is cold and humid. So in my case, I cannot add loads of bark, or loads of moss, because otherwise it will become too soggy and too humid for my epiphyte orchid that loves a tropical environment where the sun shines and you have an aerated mix, and also a little bit dry as well. Some places where these plants grow, the parent, because that's a complex hybrid that I will add to the tag here below, they come from some very hot and dry places in Brazil. Not all of them, but some of them, yes. I'm completely sure they appreciate to dry out very well between repotting is, oh my gosh, where are the words? Between watering. So be careful with that. And water very well your Cattleya, but let it dry out between watering, because otherwise they can struggle. I think it's too tall from the pot. I don't like that. It's very, very tall. I'll have to redo it. It happens. Let's do everything again. Why I don't want it to be very tall on the pot? Because I wanted the newer growth to push out roots inside the pot, not outside the pot. So I'll have to redo everything. I wanted something like that. I hope you can see, and it's focused. Let me just check again. So yeah, I want it like that. I know that you can't see the whole plants, but because this one is a very tall one. So if you do something like I did, that it's potted completely wrong, very tall on the pot, definitely do it again, because it's better to redo it now than having a ton of roots out of the pot and dehydrating pretty quickly, or not even growing properly. It's always better to have it your way than having to struggle later. Now I will add some slow release fertilizer, but the problem with this plant is that it's not really secure inside the pot. Let me grab more bark. My bark is almost on. I was scared that my bark would all be gone by now, and almost. So yeah, I need to buy more mix. Anyway, so I have an eye in here. This growth has an eye. This growth has 2 eyes. So hopefully they will push out beautiful cattleyas growth soon. And I'll have beautiful blooms as well next year. Who knows? So my mix is completely dry here. I need to hydrate it. And also I need to add a few bits of slow release fertilizer. I'll do that now because I was scared that everything would fall. 1 second. I'm adding a few bits. This is a big plant, but not a lot. Just a pinch of slow release fertilizer on the pot. I should stake it. I don't have anything to stake it at the moment, but I try to find some rocks. That's what I usually do. I place around the pot just to make sure my orchid doesn't move around too much and destroy the roots that I still have. So I will place it here on my outer pot and I will water it. So that's the second Cattleya. This one is the white one. This one had less roots than the other one and also was smaller. So this is just an old flower spike. I will do the same thing. That's the older growth. So I'll start from the back and let's see if there is anything alive in here. You can see that most of the roots are dead. They are brown. The same thing. So I will do, just for me not to repeat everything again, the same thing that I did with the other one. I will come to the older growths, these ones on the back here, and I'll start removing all the roots that are coming from them because some of them has not even leaves. They are much older than the other growths on the other Cattleya. I can see it clearly here. And I will start just removing even this part here of the stem can come out of it. Another thing is for you to be very careful is with your pair of scissors or pruners because you need to sterilize them between repottings. Since some of these plants, they might have disease or fungus, things that you don't know about. You don't know the complete history of these plants. So it's very important for you to be careful. Even that you think, oh, they are similar or, you know, they might be, but they might not all be as healthy as the other one. We never know. For this reason, always sterilize your pair of pruners. So this one is a little bit smaller than the other one. The plant in general is much smaller, but I think most of the roots are dead, unfortunately. I have a piece of an old mix here towards the middle. The fact that it's a little bit shorter, it makes my life easier, especially to find a place. Oh gosh, I cut a live root. Sad when this happens. Especially because the plant's not as dehydrated as the other one. So I suspect there are something that should be alive in here, but they are so brown, black, that I think most of it is dead. So guys, I will definitely fast this video to the future because you don't need to see me doing everything that I've done with the other plant. Since they arrived with the same conditions and looking pretty similar, I'm just doing the same thing that I did with the other one. Trying to see if everything here is dead or alive. Passing forward, I don't have many live roots. I just have these here. It is something, right? Better than nothing. Now I do the same thing. I spray hydrogen peroxide. I grab my tray and then I will show you and I finish repotting this plant. Because it is a smaller plant with less roots than the other one, I will pot it in a smaller pot and I have to clean it as well because I think it might have some scale. The second plant is completely repotted, as you can see. I added some moss, some bark, and also some rocks to make sure that my plant is standing okay. It's like my staking method. I'll water it. I'll do the same thing with my Brassavola. And then I'll come here just to conclude this video. So, although I don't want to show you the whole process here, but there is something very interesting about this one, different from the other ones. This one has many new roots and root tips, so the newer growths are all pushing out new and nice roots, which is great, and I have to be very careful with them. But this one has even a greater chance of surviving if I compare to the other ones, because these roots, they will probably grow into the pot, hopefully, and adapt well. And it's also a sign that this plant is very, very healthy. I do have a newer growth here, which is also great. Let's finally repot it, and I will come back when I'm done. So, to conclude, I have here my 3 fully potted, actually, they were not repotted, they were potted orchids. I am so happy to have them finally here, and hopefully they will grow well and they will bloom for me. The next steps for these plants are, first of all, making sure that they are completely scale-free. Not that my collection is pest-free yet, but it's better to remove anything that's bothering them by now. After that, I will have to find a space for them in my shelving. I don't have space for them around these windowsills. So, the small orchid, perfect. It's easy to place them anywhere. The problems are the tallest ones. I will need to bring some oncidiums down and reorganize my shelving a little bit. And hopefully these plants will accept the growing light very well. I don't know yet. I had to observe and see what happens in the future. So then I will have to maybe remove them from their location, place them somewhere else. But I'll have to observe and see what happens. Also, some of them are dehydrated, mainly the Cattleyas. I will need to observe if they are pushing through new growths. Where are the new growths? Like this one, I'm not really satisfied with the way that it is taking. It's moving a lot. It's not ideal, so I have to stake it better. This one, I found some large stakes, so it's more stable, which is amazing. So then the roots won't move around the pot too much when the new roots start to grow inside it. Hopefully I'll have new growths with newer roots soon, which makes my plant healthier than it is right now. So that's everything that I have to do with them. And just observe, if you want the one that had more roots, for example, I can in a month time, just remove from the pot, see what roots are completely dead and remove them. So I will make sure that my potting mix is still fresh. With the other ones that were apparently rootless or have just new roots coming out of the newer growths, I just leave them be, and fingers crossed, observing them. They have lots of pseudobulbs that can store energy, so they will be able to grow. Maybe they will struggle a little bit, they can become stressed out, which is normal. But with the newer growths and newer roots, hopefully everything could be stable. I'll keep you posted. I'm so in love with my new plants. I will find a spot for them now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Let me know which type of content you would like to see here. And leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.